Hello and welcome to the 2-minute series. The topic for today is NDTL, which is the net demand and time liabilities. Now this is a term that we often come across in calculation of monetary instruments. So this is what is important for us. Now before we delve into the term, some basic understanding of a bank is what is vital. Here you need to understand that what is a liability and what is an asset. Now all the money that the public is depositing in a bank, the bank is supposed to return this money at some point of time. So obviously this is a liability on the bank. Now this money the bank takes and the bank lends this money further on an interest rate in the form of some loans. And this is what becomes an asset for the bank because the bank is supposed to receive this money back from the public. So this is the basic difference between liability and asset. Now once we understand that what is liability, we have to next understand the types of liability, and this is what is very important because this has been a question in the PTA also. Now there are two types of liability. One liability is the demand liability and the second type of liability is the time liability. Now as the name suggests, the demand liability is a type of liability which has to be returned on demand. For instance, our saving accounts. We can take money out of our saving accounts whenever we want, whenever we demand for that, and the bank cannot refuse it. So this is what is the demand liability. Whereas a time liability is a liability which can only be returned after a particular time period. For instance, our fixed deposits. So this is one difference between demand and time liabilities. Next, if we come to net demand and time liabilities, the understanding is that if the word net is what has been used, then obviously something is what is being subtracted out of the total deposits or the total demand and time liabilities of the bank. So what you have to understand is that what is this thing that is being subtracted. Now here, what is important is that you have to understand that a bank is continuously having withdrawals also. Not only deposits but also withdrawals. So the total amount of liability that a bank has is fluctuating. So this is what is the NDTL. After every 2 weeks, we subtract from the total deposits the total withdrawal that a bank has had, and that is what gives us the NDTL figure of that particular bank. And based on this NDTL figure, several monetary instruments is what is said. For instance, the SLR or the CRR. This is something that we shall be delving into later. Another thing that is very important with regards to NDTL is that you should know that also the RBI has given some exemptions, that some types of liability which a bank has will not be counted as a liability of that bank. For instance, some interbank deposit is what is made in that bank, or some loan that the bank has taken from the RBI, or some finance that the bank has taken from the Exim Bank or the National Housing Bank or NABARD or SIDBI. These types of loans will not be considered as a liability on the bank. So this is what you should know about NDTL, and that's all for today. I thank you all for watching.